Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all well. In this video, we got something really exciting to talk about, and this is a brand new pedal from Boss. Not only is it a brand new pedal from Boss, but it is the very first ever collaboration that Boss have done with another pedal company. So it's really cool, really exciting, and I cannot wait to show you and actually play this pedal. Introducing the new Angry Driver, the JB-2 from Boss and JHS pedals. So on one side you've got an Angry Charlie, which is the infamous distortion overdrive pedal that JHS brought out a few years ago, and it is just an awesome pedal, everybody loves it. And then on the other side you've got a modded BD2 circuit, which is Boss's overdrive, which we all know and love, and that is put together into one box in your standard sort of legendary compact Boss pedal stomp box. It's cool, it's white and red, which is really nice. Hopefully you can see on the GoPro, and I'll also do some close-up with my camera. In a nutshell, the way it works is you've got dual concentric pots. So the top of the pot is controlling the JHS side, and the bottom of the pot is controlling the Boss side. And that's the way to think about it, I suppose, first and foremost. And the other cool feature, which is really useful, as you can see on the GoPro, I've got an FS7 foot switch plugged into this as well, which means that you've also got a remote switch which can toggle different modes as well if you want that extra flexibility, as Boss is really good at expandability with regard to their pedals. So next we're going to look at the modes, and there's quite a few of them. I've got a couple of notes written down so that I get it right for you guys. But firstly, the first mode that you've got on this pedal is the JHS mode. This is the standard sort of JHS circuit that when you turn the pedal on, that's what you're going to get. Now if you use the remote switch, you can switch between the Angry Charlie circuit and the BD2 circuit. So that's something additional if you've got an FS7 foot switch. Secondly, you've got the Boss mode, which is more or less the same thing but flipped on its head. So what you end up with is you've got the BD2 circuit going on straight away when you turn the pedal on. However, if you put the FS7 foot switch into the remote socket on the pedal, it's going to allow you to switch between the BD2 and the Angry Charlie circuit, but the other way around, of course. Next mode is JHS/Boss mode. What this means is the pedal is always on, and when you hit the stomp box, it's going to flick between the two circuits, so JHS, BD2. Now if you add the FS7 to the remote socket, that toggles on the pedal or off the pedal, so it literally acts as an on-off switch. Next up, we've got J into B mode, which means we're running the Angry Charlie circuit into the BD2 circuit. Now the main foot switch on the pedal is just going to turn this on and off. If you add the FS7 in, it lets you flick between series mode and the BD2 circuit. So you've got a couple of different options that you end up with, sort of 3 different voices that you can use, which is quite handy. And then we've got B into J mode, which essentially is the other way around. So you're running the BD2 circuit into the Angry Charlie circuit, and then again the standard foot switch toggles the pedal on and off, but then if you add the FS7, it allows you to switch between series mode, which is cascading the two. Depends on what you want, depends on what kind of sound you want to go for when you're not mixing the two. And then finally we've got parallel mode, which is running both circuits in parallel, and it maintains the clarity of both circuits. But if you use the remote, it drops out the BD circuit, so it allows you to just have the Angry Charlie circuit. So as you can see, what they've done with this pedal is made it as flexible as possible by essentially having 2 overdrive circuits in one box. So it's giving you lots of different options. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what it sounds like. Okay, so I've got my PRS Paul's guitar. Thought I'd use that because it's got humbucker and single coil tones built in, and that's running straight through the JB-2 into the Victory V50 on a clean channel, being captured by Logic Pro X and my Universal Audio Apollo 8P interface. So this is the clean signal. Now we're just on the JHS side, so what you're going to hear is the sort of Angry Charlie circuit. Everything's at 12 o'clock, so here we go. Sounds wicked, really thick, and really like that. And what I'm going to do is mess around with the tones a little bit. Yeah, man, it's got a really, really nice tone. Very smooth sounding. I'm really impressed. Next, I want to show you what happens with the FS7. We've got it plugged in, and the normal foot switch just toggles the pedal on and off, but when you hit the FS7, it changes the LED to blue, meaning we're on the BD2 circuit, which is really cool because essentially you're giving yourself a dual channel pedal. So this is the Angry Charlie side, and now the BD2. That's sick. And the reason that's sick is because, again, you could run into a clean channel, and the way this pedal actually is voiced is very good. You can't really hear the clean channel underneath. Again, this is the clean channel. It's a really, really nicely voiced pedal. I must admit, I'm very impressed. And like I said, you've got like a dual channel thing going on here, you know, moving between the two. So now if I switch to a different mode, what's going to happen is we've still got the FS7 engaged. Now I'm taking it off onto the BD2 side. What can I say? I'm really enjoying it. It sounds great. I've only used the two modes, flicking between the two. I haven't even cascaded anything at all yet. I haven't blended any of the circuits together. This is just the two individual ones. It's cool. The JHS Angry Charlie circuit is thick. It's like powerful. It's grunty in the mid-range. And the BD2, the modified BD2 is really nice. There's a subtle but beautiful clarity to the top end, which is quite good for chords. And it just, I don't know, I'm impressed. So let's move on, let's go to the next mode. This is JHS/Boss mode, which essentially means you can select with the main foot switch, if you don't have the FS7 in, you're just moving between Angry Charlie and BD2. So. Now, if you've got the FS7 in, all it does is turn the pedal on and off. So it's basically swapping the rolls around depending on what you've got plugged in. It's just extra functionality and flexibility, I suppose. Okay, so we've moved on to the fourth mode, which is J into B, which means the JHS cascading into the BD2 circuit. At the moment, the pedal is not on. That means that the main stomp box on the pedal itself turns it on and off. As you can see, the LED is now purple, meaning we've blended the two. Now if you use the FS7, it's just turning off the Angry Charlie circuit and giving us the BD2. So I'm going to start there. Sounds sick. Now if I turn that off, we've now got Angry Charlie going into BD2. Interestingly, the BD2 circuit is the more prominent one in this particular mode. So like the Angry Charlie circuit's more subtle, it's adding a little bit extra, but the most powerful circuit in this so far is the BD2. It's really sick because you can have the BD2 in. And then straight away just go for a thicker version. Oh, it's so sick. Right, moving on. Now we've got B into J mode, which essentially means that I would assume that the Angry Charlie circuit is the more prominent circuit in this. And again, if we flick the FS7, you'll see the light goes to red from purple, which means we're dropping out the BD2 and going to the Angry Charlie. So this is how it sounds. Way more mid-range. It's definitely the more prominent one. So that is obviously the intention there. When you've got the JHS into B mode, you're cascading, it's just adding that JHS feel to the BD2 circuit, meaning BD2 is more prominent. And now we've got it the other way around. So BD2 is just adding that subtlety to the Angry Charlie, and that's how we got it. Yeah, definitely thicker. It's just filthy. And again, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to have both on at the same time, but I'm going to flick between the modes so you can hear the difference between having Angry Charlie as prominent or the BD2 as prominent. So here we go. So you can hear when the BD2 circuit is more prominent, it's giving you that clarity in the top end. Whereas the Angry Charlie, it's way thicker, it's way more power. It's probably nicer for that smoother lead sort of sound. So back on a bit of reverb. Apologies for the little bit of sketchiness there, I got a little bit excited, but yeah, I mean, it's low noise too. I mean, can you hear it? Just a little bit, but I got a lot of gain going on here. So let's move on to last mode now, which is parallel mode, which allows both circuits to run independently, retaining the clarity of sort of both circuits. And then when you use the FS7, it's going to drop out the BD2 circuit, leaving us with the Angry Charlie. So let's move across. And this is the Angry Charlie on its own. Now if I hit off the FS7, this is both together. So immediately it's definitely louder because we're not cascading. We're actually going to get twice the flexibility of volume, twice the flexibility of gain and tone. So this is how it's going to sound. go. I've tried to keep this demo relatively short because there's been quite a lot of different stuff to go over, but again, it's a concise pedal, so I wanted the demo to be concise. Having both circuits in there, being able to control them independently with the dual concentric pots, and then having the options to cascade one into the other or run them parallel, and then with the added expandability of the FS7, it means that the Angra driver is a real contender for a high quality, top of the range, beast sounding dual overdrive pedal, because it's a dual overdrive. You've got 2 overdrive / distortions in this pedal, and it's just super well voiced. And again, it's just got that solid construction, nice and easy to use, very easily worked straight out of the box. You know, I haven't struggled with it, and I haven't struggled to get good tones, so I really hope that comes across. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll put all the links I can in the description box. Like, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you all very soon.